Hello and welcome to part 2 of the Top 5 Friday Big Black Friday special. I'm your host Tim Cant, and this time I'm going to be counting down Plug-in Boutique's top 5 most tumescent Big Black Friday deals that will hopefully provide you with some succor as the human race heads inexorably towards extinction. Now, let's check out those bargains. Bassmaster rocks the block at number 5. Loopmaster's Black Friday bundles are at 4. Instachord is our perfect third. Soundspot deliver various bargains at number 2. And Neutron Elements is our Big Black Friday number 1. At 5, Bassmaster from Loopmasters. It's the mix-ready Bass Hound that makes it simple to get solid, heavy bass in any track. With over 200 sounds across its 2 oscillator layers, there are thousands of combinations to get started with in Bassmaster, and it doesn't stop there. With 13 filter types you can get moving with an LFO envelope, plus distortion, chorus and reverb effects to process your sounds. There are also mod wheel macros, meaning you can assign any 3 parameters to be controlled together at the same time, and a frequency booster, which polishes your final signal. Bassmaster will be half price from the 22nd of November, but when the offer ends, it's still unknown. Let's take a look at how we can make our own bass sound using the init preset in Bassmaster. There's tons of presets here. What I like is that you can make your own sounds essentially from scratch using these provided samples. So we've got a sub layer and a top layer. Let's hear what we've got at the moment. Pretty square. Let's go for something a little bit more interesting. Let's select something for the top layer from the high menu. Let's just audition some of these sounds. That's pretty nasty. Let's go for that. So I'm going to make a bow now, which is a very technical term for a specific sort of bass line. So I'm going to turn the cutoff filter down and turn up the filter LFO amount. Let's turn the sync off so we can set the hertz of the filter LFO exactly. Okay, now the most important part is the phase. Now it's important to set this to the correct position because it's what gives us the bow. There we go. And that's just a case of fine tuning. It's a bit of resonance. There you go, pretty rough, not a lot of work. And we can rough things up even further with the built-in effects like the pre-drive in the filter. Some chorus. Maybe a little reverb. And maybe even some distortion. I know this sounds pretty rough already. Let's see what happens. Oh, maybe a little bit much there. There you go. Big, big bass, small, small price. At 4, Loopmaster's Black Friday bundles by Loopmasters. Loopmasters spring up again, but this time it's for their top quality sample packs, which have provided fodder for some of the world's most prominent artists. Until the 2nd of December, there's up to an enormous 85% off bundles, so it's high time to get yourself down to loopmasters.com to grab genre packs, artist packs, and inspirational sound kits. Go dig some virtual crates. I'm going to give you a real quick and simple tip for getting more out of your samples for these Loopmasters packs. So work in pretty much any sampler or DAW. And what it is sometimes I find I'm listening to a sample pack and I'll encounter a lovely sound, like this one, that doesn't sustain for as long as I'd like. So what I do is create a MIDI track in Live, drag the sample onto it, or whatever sampler you like, and then we can play it back. And all we do is turn loop mode on. We'll set the start point to kind of like before the attack phase is finished. We'll take the length down so it's kind of still at a similar sort of volume. Then we'll turn up the crossfade, which will give us a bit of a less obvious loop, hopefully. There we go. Very, very simple, very effective. At 3, Instachord by WA Production. Instachord is a MIDI plugin that gives you keyboard control over chord types and single notes, letting you switch between chords that go together with one octave, then play them using different articulation types in another octave. You may also be interested in its sister plugin Instascale, which gives you a new reduced effort way to play in key and can make your amateur hand flailing sound like a savantish high-class performance. Both Instascale and Instachord are marked down from $59.99 to $9.99 from the 21st of November to the 9th of December. So if you want to get your hands dirty with some music theory, this is your chance. Let's take a quick look at how to use Instachord. I've got two MIDI tracks here, one with a chord, one piano sound on it, very nice, and another with Instachord on it. So we're going to set the record arm on the Instachord track because we're going to use that to play the chord piano sound. And to do that, we need to set its routing. So in the target sounds MIDI parameters, you're going to select the Instachord track and you're going to select the Instachord plugin. That's how it works in live. Probably a little different in other DAWs, but basically the same deal. Another thing we need to do is turn on the monitoring. And now we should be able to use Instachord to play the M1 piano sounds. There we go. So how Instachord works is you have two picks, picks A and picks B, and these basically actually play the notes. We've got a strum down there. We can select something else. Let's have a strum up. That's fast. Let's go something a bit slower. Let's go very slow. Very nice. And to change the chord, you use these key switches at the lower end of the keyboard. This is set to C major. Let's say we want to do something crazy and go to a G. Seventh suspended fourth. It's always been my favorite chord. So now, pressing the C5 will trigger that chord. Then if we press this lower note in the chord section, we'll switch to that chord. There we go. And say we want to have a different way of playing it, we'll strum up fast. How about that? Change back to the other chords. That's it in a nutshell, and the only limit is your music theory imagination. At 2, Soundspot plugins by Soundspot. Soundspot have a range of plugins to solve everyday production problems quickly and easily. And my word, these guys love a discount. From the 19th of November, certain Soundspot plugins are discounted by up to 99%, meaning that some will set you back just £1, dollar, euro, or clam, otherwise known as crazy money. Discounted plugins include Paradox, the push-pull EQ and variable RMS compressor, Axis Multiband, the mastering processor with compression and stereo across 4 bands, Firefly, the bus compressor with added glue, and tons more. Soundspot plugins go super cheap at sale time. £1 for some plugins, a mere £6 for this Firefly bus compressor to put it through its paces. I've got a bit of an easy drummer groove going on here. Let's hear how it sounds. It's going through the plugin, but there's no gain reduction. We can see the level here, the gain reduction would appear around here. Let's see what it do. Let's turn down that threshold. Oh, here it comes. Let's mess with the ratio a bit. I don't want to do it too much. And do you know what I like, guys? I like a long attack time. Ooh, as you know, and a short release. Get it slamming. Also, you really want to get it slamming, it's got some kind of transient shaping stuff in here. It's really, really simple. You just select one mode, or the other mode, which is more extreme. That's a bit too extreme for Timmy. There's also stereo balance and sidechain faders at the side, and these let you control the stereo image of the signal and also how the low end of the compressor responds to the signal. These basically will give you a little bit of a different sound, and they're worth having a little fiddle with. Also, there's an analog mode that you can turn off. It's on by default. Now I like the analog, let's have it. So there you go. And there's tons of other plugins to check out in the Soundspot range. And at number 1 is Neutron Elements by Isotope. iZotope's Neutron plugin is a complete solution for mixing using iZotope's high-end algorithms in a channel strip formation and baking in artificial intelligence to help you find starting points for your next mix. While there are standard and advanced versions of Neutron 2 available, it's the Elements version we're talking about here, because it's free with any plugin purchase on Plugin Boutique until the 30th of November. Grab any plugin in the top 10, and you also get a copy of this one-stop mixing package, meaning that artificial intelligence is now a no-brainer. On the one hand, I'm kind of worried that capitalism is going to destroy the planet. On the other, it's hard to stay mad when you can get Neutron Elements free with any purchase, because this is a wicked plugin. It's cut down from the full version of Neutron, which I use all the time. You don't get the multi-band stuff. You don't get quite as many processors and stuff and everything, but it's still great because even though it's single band, it sounds freaking wicked. Let's have a listen to it right now. So by default, equalizer and compressor active. Let's have a listen to that compressor. Oh, it's pretty nice. Let's add a little bit of equalization. I mean, even though this is a cut down, it's still ridiculously featured. And like, to be honest, it's a bit better than most DAW's built-in stock plugins. Let's turn the equalizer and compressor off and have a listen to the exciter. There's a few modes with the exciter as well. Obviously, we're using quite drastic values to demonstrate here. Also, you even get this stuff, which gives you a bit of a different sound. Let's go really drastic so we can hear that properly. And of course, the transient shaper, which is sick. And it's even got this intelligent track assistant. Let's see what this does for us. So we'll play a bit of the music. And it automatically gives us some presets. So here it's added the equalizer, exciter, and compressor, and bypass it. Artificial intelligence in your plugin. Hopefully the computers and robots will solve the environment problem. So anyway, Neutron Elements is absolutely wicked. You can get it free with any purchase. You can get a Soundspot plugin for £1. Get this for free, an amazing bargain. That's why it's our #1. So there you have it. A veritable feast of big Black Friday goodness. I hope has left you as satisfied as I am. Now, get consuming, and I'll see you next time for another plugin pack Top 5 Friday.